Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all having a great day. And first things first, before we get into the video, you can see behind me there's an Evolving Skies booster box on my shelf now. I regret to inform you guys that I got a call last night from the guy I was doing a deal with, and he just canceled the deal. He must have seen my video and decided to keep his Steam Siege and Crimson Invasion, and I'm super jealous because he's going to make huge gains on that. So unfortunately, I'm stuck with my Evo Skies a little bit longer. But yeah, no, thank you guys for being good sports about that video yesterday. I tried to provide a little bit of value, thrown in that Gardevoir card in there, which has actually gone up 470% in a near mint copy, and I think like 270% in light played or moderately played. So that card is on the rise. Today, guys, I want to talk about what I think people are going to regret in a couple of years. Because I think it's a very interesting conversation. Again, I touched on this a couple days ago in terms of selling. People selling off their product right now. I think for a lot of things you should actually be holding off, especially if you have a long-term mindset, which ideally, if you're in this hobby, you should have a long-term mindset. Don't worry about a crash over the next couple of years. If it comes, might not even come. Don't worry about potential tariffs and trade wars that probably won't last a super long time. So in this video, I want to touch on a couple sets from a couple different eras that I think people probably should be holding on to, and they're going to regret not having more of in 2029, we'll call it, or 2030, 5 years from now. And before we get into that, just one quick thing. I'm going to throw up a screenshot on screen I'm looking down at right now, during together prices. The Clefairy's down to 215. The Salamence has overtaken Zoroark right now, sitting around 139, 140-ish dollars, it looks like. The Zoroark's around 130. Hobzation's down into the 80s. And Articuno's right around that $40 price point as well. So again, tons of stuff fluctuating right now, but it does seem like prices are continuing to drop. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is 151. And I feel like everyone has been talking about 151 lately, so I don't want to go too in-depth into this and beat a dead horse, but there has been a lot of reprints of 151. And you can go look at the booster box price, or not the booster box, the booster pack price, sorry. And that was over $12.50 about a month ago. We're now seeing booster packs go for around $9.87, little under $10. Same thing with the booster bundles. They're quite flat over the past 3 months, maybe up 1% or something like that. So if you want to get some 151, I think this is a good opportunity because, again, post reprint, it gets less likely that there's going to be another reprint. Now, I think 151, they probably will reprint it again, especially going into the holiday season this year. I think that's quite a possibility to happen, especially with the prices where they're already at. But if it doesn't happen, again, like with every reprint, it gets more unlikely. The second set I wanted to touch on was Paldea Evolved, because we saw with the rumors and, potentially there being more booster boxes out there right now, the price of the product hasn't really come down. We're still seeing sales for the booster box in that 225, 230 range. There are a couple lower sales on TCG Player, but it's holding very strong. And the fact that we had a reprint of it and it's still holding at this level leads me to believe that it's definitely going to continue climbing eventually. And it is one of the stronger sets from the SV era. Obviously, I think Surging Sparks is up there in terms of booster boxes. And I think the next thing I want to talk about, Destined Rivals, is going to be up there as well. Now, Destined Rivals is one of those products I'm going to be trying to get at MSRP and as close to MSRP as possible. And to do that, I'm using today's video sponsor, PokeNotify. You guys already know PokeNotify is the #1 Discord service offering you the fastest notifications for restocks, drops, and deals on Pokemon product. They cover all the main regions of the world: Canada, the US, Japan, Europe. I'm missing one, Australia, there you go. All the main sites as well, the Pokemon Center, your Walmarts, your Targets, GameStop, all of it. And a lot of people use them to succeed and get PCTBs and booster boxes for Destined Rivals already. Now, if that restocks eventually, I'm sure people are going to be able to get fast notifications and hop in there as well. They're one of the main reasons I ended up getting a lot of Prismatic and also the 151 booster bundles up here during the holiday season. I have them to thank for it. $7.99 a month. You can cancel anytime, and you can use the code PROFIT25 for 25% off your first month, I think. So there you go. Thank you to PokeNotify for sponsoring the video. And again, guys, even if you don't get any Destined Rivals, be on the lookout for notifications for restocks for Prismatic and also 151, whether it's through Walmart Canada, the US, Target, etc. Surging Sparks, there's been tons of bundles dropping as well for you guys in the States. So if you've got some of those at MSRP, I'm sure you're very happy as well. Now to talk about the Sword and Shield era, I think there are some sets right now that people should probably be taking a look at. And honestly, I don't really want to sell these. One of these sets I do own, which is Chilling Reign. And the reason I want to move some of this is you guys know, again, even if it's not the best investment decision for myself, I like getting to a zero cost basis. That'd be the only reason I would move Chilean Rain right now. I actually heard someone say that Chilean Rain is overvalued right now or overrated. I think they were just saying that based on how much hype it's gotten over the past 6 to 12 months, that it's kind of at a level where it maybe is just normally rated or maybe a little bit overinflated. And I actually don't agree with that. I think Chilean Rain is actually undervalued right now. And I kind of want to compare it to Surging because you see Surging's around $250, Chilean's around $300. So they're fairly close in price at this point. But Chilean is a much older set, like almost 3 years older, a little over 3 years. And when you look at the card value inside, in Surging, you have the Pikachu, you have the Milotic, you have the Latias. In Chilean Rain, you have the Blaziken, you have the Galarian Moltres, you have the Gold Snorlax, but then you also have some other cards like the Articuno, the Zapdos, the Galarian Slowpoke. So I think Chilean Rain is actually a slightly deeper set, and the fact that these are very close sets in terms of value, and one's 3 years older, and there's probably way less of it out there right now, I think it's a decent buy, especially when you compare it to the other set I want to talk about, Lost Origin, sitting around $400 right now. Again, Lost Origin, you have the Giratina up top. I definitely think Lost Origin's a better set now. That's become apparent. Fusion Strike's kind of pulled into that second best Sword and Shield set. Lost Origin, in terms of booster boxes, I should say, Lost Origin's probably in third now, and then Chilling's there in fourth. But the fact that they're quite spread apart, Chilling's around $300, Lost is around $4, and Fusion's getting close to $5. So there's quite a difference, and I don't think there should be that large of a difference considering these sets are fairly close. And I think you can have quite an interesting argument talking about should you buy Chilling at $300 or Lost Origin at $4. Obviously, Lost Origin is the better set, but because there's such a price difference, I think that's where the conversation gets quite interesting. But when I compare Lost Origin to something like Surging, I would much rather buy Lost Origin right now at $400 than Surging at $250, just because of the climate we're in, the fact that Surging's only, 4 or 5 months old. I'd also much prefer to buy Chilean Rain at $300, $310 than buy Surging at $250. So either way I look at it, I would much rather buy these older sets at this point. And I've seen a lot of you guys as well leave comments on my videos saying we're kind of at a point with Pokemon where it's almost making sense to go back to Sword and Shield compared to buying a lot of these Scarlet and Violet sets, especially the newer ones like your Surging, your Stellar, Prismatic, Journey Together, obviously, at these inflated prices right now. And to throw you guys a curveball to end this video, I think the last thing investors are going to regret not having more of in 5 years is going to be some exposure to One Piece. And if you're paying attention right now, OP05 is taking off. It's about $210, $220 on TCG Player. OP09, one of the deepest sets, is around $175, $180. And then the premium booster PRV01 is around $270 at this point, with sales up to almost $290, I believe, on TCG Player. And these sets are quietly rising. I don't see a lot of people paying attention to these. Again, you have some of the great manga cards. You have the reprints. You have your Luffy's. OP09 has the Gold Roger card in there. That's like $3,200. And obviously, Pokemon is a much safer investment compared to something like One Piece. I would agree with that. There's no denying that the next few years are going to be very crucial for One Piece, especially now bringing in rotation some of these older sets. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens with those. But I think there still is going to be a lot of popularity in terms of collecting the cards. One Piece, in terms of just the story in general, it's not finished yet, but we're getting very close. So these next few years, it's going to be very interesting to see, and there are going to be a lot of eyes on it. And if you guys do want to hear me talk more about One Piece, I started a second channel specifically for that. It's called Straw Hat Speculator, so you can go subscribe, and I have a couple of videos up there already that you can go watch. But you guys let me know what you think down below. Are people going to regret not having more of these sets in the future? Also, again, thank you to PokeNotify for sponsoring the video. I'll leave the links at the top of the description and in the pinned comment. With that said, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe wherever you are in the world, and I'll catch you in the next one.